We're back with another video on how to build a record label, and we're going to be diving into the contract that you need when signing an artist to your record label. More specifically, we're going to get into the top 3 contract secrets that you need to know for your record label. Hi guys, I'm top music attorney Miss Crystal. I'm an entertainment attorney, public speaker, and creator of the Top Music Attorney School for artists and record labels. I'm the owner of Dukes Up Records, and most importantly, I'm an independent artist. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss my weekly videos giving you my best tips on the music business, industry news updates, and teaching you how to stay legally protected.
Let's go.
So guys, I went to law school because I wanted to be able to represent myself in my career, to be able to negotiate contracts, think like a lawyer. I had no intention of actually practicing law. Now I do. I own an entertainment law firm today. But the beauty of what I've learned through my entire music career and being an attorney are kind of these best kept industry secrets. And so that's what we're jumping into today. The first top contract secret that you guys need to know for your record labels has to do with ownership. And specifically, the key to ownership is your label contract and how you word it. A lot of label owners or artists who are about to start their labels will get really nervous as soon as we start having a conversation about contracts, because it's like, well, if I'm gonna put a contract in front of someone, they're gonna get really nervous and they're not gonna wanna do it. And I don't wanna kill the deal, I want them to work with me. But what you don't understand is that if you don't actually have a contract, then the ownership of the music stays with the people who made it. Right? So the way we set up our contracts is the artist is on the label and the music created during that time, during that relationship, is usually owned by the label. Now, if that is the agreement that you've come to with your artist, well then it has to be in a writing. And the reason is because under copyright law, if you don't have a signed writing saying that the artist gives the music to the label in exchange for all the stuff that the label is going to do for the artist, well, that has not actually been a legal transfer of ownership. So if you and I just have a verbal agreement and we say, well, you're going to be my artist for my label, I'm going to represent you and I'm going to own the music, well, technically, if we don't sign something saying that, it's not legally enforceable. So really what I'm saying is that there has to be not only a contract for your record label, but there has to be language in the contract that says the label's going to own the music. And more specifically, when I say music, the word that you see in these contracts is master or the masters. And it just means that this is the final, composition, the recorded version of the song. And so in the contract, it should say record label owns the masters and it's assigned from the artists. Now, I mentioned earlier in the video, I did put out a book, and I'm so excited because the book is now available as a download, right? It's a digital download as a PDF. So you literally can just go get the book, download it, and you'll get access to all of the contracts that come with the book. And one of them is a record label contract. And so I basically set this up for you guys so you don't have to think and worry about this stuff. You need to make sure you have a real clear so that at the end of the day, if you're going to make an investment into your artist and to help them grow their careers and to get different opportunities, you got to make sure that you're also protecting your end of the bargain, which is that you're going to own the music. And you do that by having a solid record label contract. And I have represented and continue to represent so many different record labels at different stages of their development. Some labels will take full ownership of the masters and some labels will actually split it. And so the artist will still own half of the masters. So the beautiful thing about how you guys decide how you want to build your record labels is that you get to make those decisions. You can say what the ownership looks like and the other different things that will go into your contract. But the point being, you have to have a contract and you have to make sure that it's clearly spelled out who's going to own what related to the music. The second top contract secret that you guys need to know for your record label has to do with the advances. Now, when I say advances, what I mean is the amounts of money that the record label is going to pay in advance for the artist's benefit. So this could mean either a chunk of change, you say, hey, thanks for signing with my record label, here is $50,000, $5,000, whatever that looks like for you, or it might be expenses that are paid on behalf of the artist. right? So if you're a brand new record label, maybe you aren't actually paying out lump sum advances, but instead you're helping to pay for things like studio sessions, mixing, mastering, photo shoots. All of those amounts that you're paying on behalf of the artist is considered an advance. But once again, if it's not in your record label contract, guess what? It's up for debate on whether that needs to be paid back, how it's paid back. So number one, you need to define in the contract that everything that's paid for the artist is going to be considered an advance, but then more importantly, you have to define how you get paid back. The way that you get paid back your money is through the royalties. When I say royalties, I'm talking about the money that is being earned from your music or your masters. Now, in this instance, we're talking about your artists. So your artists are making money as streaming revenue from Spotify, digital downloads, and all of that is flowing now into your record label. Based on your contract, you need to decide what that revenue split looks like. And so maybe it's 50-50, maybe it's 20-80. You, again, get to decide what that looks like for your company. But the beauty of having the advance and actually having defined that is that the first amounts of money that come back in go to pay you. And they go to pay you back for what you have advanced for the artist. And so having it structured very clear like that is going to make sure that obviously as you're making payments and you are paying out on behalf of the artist, you are getting reimbursed as far as that process and as revenue continues to come in. So you want to make sure always have that defined with what happens with the expenses, how you get paid, because if it's not in your contract, guess what? Someone's going to be calling me because now you have a dispute with the artist. The third top contract secret that you need to know for your record label is securing your investment, aka having options in your contract. When we talk about options, we're talking about the ability for you to extend the contract. And what we do with these agreements is essentially like product deals, right? So you sign an artist and you say, hey, I'm gonna, kind of help you. I'm gonna pay some stuff for you to get your record made, and we're gonna do one album together, or maybe it's one single or one EP, whatever that initial product is. And then you say, well, I don't know what's gonna happen. Might be terrible. We might not make any money. I might lose money. But obviously, we don't get into these things to lose. So if the artist that you work with does well, you want to make sure that you can kind of secure your investment by having an option to extend for additional products. So your conversation might go like this. Artist, let's do a deal together. I'm going to support you with one album. And if it goes well, I want to have the ability to do another 2 albums after that, or up to 2 albums. And so you say, I'll have an option for 2 more albums, and that is something that I hold as the record label. Now, if it doesn't work out and we decide to, go our own ways and I don't want to kind of work with you in the future, that's fine. It will just be for this first thing that we do together. But again, securing your investment, if that artist takes off, I've seen this happen. You'll have an artist who will release, their first couple of singles, and by the 4th single, they go insanely viral. You never know. And so because obviously you're not getting into this to fail, having some kind of extension through an option for future products is a really smart move for your record label. As an extra pro tip, I want you guys to know that when you first decide that you want to work with someone, don't just sign a contract. It goes both ways. You guys need to court each other. You need to see if it's a good fit. You don't want to sign some artist to your label, pay out some money, and then they're lazy. They don't work. They don't hustle. They don't do their social media. It's a partnership, and you need that artist working just as hard as you are to make their career a success. And so as you're kind of going through that courtship, what you want to do is don't send full contracts for artists to sign. My recommendation, do deal memos, and you could do this as an email. Put together an email, do some bullet points and say, hey, I want to do a total of 3 albums. We'll do a first album with 2 options. There's going to be no advance, let's say, up front, but we will help you with studio costs, this and that. And you can kind of just break it down in a couple of bullet points of how you want the deal to look. So you guys can essentially have kind of this negotiation period, and then when you feel like it's time to move on to that final step, that's when you give me a call. That's when you get the full-length agreement in place, and hopefully at that point you guys had an opportunity to kind of work together a little bit and to get a sense of whether it's going to be a good fit. Now guys, those were 3 of the top contract secrets that, you know, everyone needs to know for their record labels, but there is so much more and so much in between that we need to dive into. And in the meantime, don't forget to get a copy of How to Keep Your Dukes Up in the Music Business. Like I said, you can get it literally right now to your phone or to your desktop. We have it as a digital download. I'll link that as well down below. And guys, I can't stress this enough. You know, as someone who's been in the entertainment field as a musician and now as an attorney, this is something that is a must-have. It is everything that you need to know. It has contracts in it, it has forms for running meetings and building your teams. So definitely check that out. We got a lot coming for you, so stay tuned. If you're in the mood for some dark pop music, be sure to search Miss Crystal on all music platforms. I just dropped my new album, Dangerous Daughters, and it'd be cool if you guys went and checked that out. Don't forget to come say hi on social media. You can find me on every platform, but I'm definitely the most active on Instagram. I'm gonna get out of here, but don't forget to subscribe, turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss any videos from your new favorite redhead. I'm Miss Crystal. Bye.